I'm here in my office just after my 6-month anniversary from my Neograft procedure, which was performed here. At that time, on April 14th, I had 2,818 grafts, follicular units taken individually from the back of my head and moved here. I must say I could not be happier with my result. I feel that very clearly I just have increased density everywhere. I didn't have amazing donor hair density, so Tony took as much as he could without sacrificing the density of the back of my head, and my instructions were very clear and followed to a T, which means what I wanted was to be sure that this graft would survive time in terms of the hair loss of my native hair. In other words, the hair on top of my head at age 58 is going to get thinner. So I didn't want a heavy presence of grafted hair here so that in 10 or 15 or 20 years, when I lose more of my own hair, I would look like a guy who had hair transplants. So what was done was that the grafts are distributed really fairly evenly at the front of my head. I specifically asked Tony to not essentially waste too many follicles at the top of the head and the crown, and yet he was still able to achieve some very good coverage for the crown area, because again, my priority is how you're looking at me one-on-one. So in any case, the procedure happened here with my getting IV sedation, so I really don't remember any details of the day at all, and the recovery was not bad at all. I was back at work after 4 or 5 days wearing a surgeon's cap. After a couple of weeks, I looked like a pretty regular guy who had just shaved the back of his head short. And now here I am. I love it. Obviously, these grafted hairs, I can do anything I want with. They're totally mine. They are, you could look as close as you want and you will not see scars. You will not see any scars from the donor side, which is the beauty of Neograft. There is no linear scar on my head. There are just little dots that you can't see, because with regular skin like mine, you're not going to see those things because they're so small. We're talking about a millimeter diameter harvests typically. So again, I couldn't be happier. I think this is a fabulous procedure. I recommend it highly. I welcome seeing clients who are interested in talking about this. I've learned a lot from being a patient. I've changed the post-op regimen a little bit. And I think if you come here for Neograft, if you come to Cool Spa for Neograft, you're in for a very good experience.